We brainstormed for like the first week or so on like, okay, what kind of game do we want? What kind of games do all of us like to play? And Grapple Gear is what came out in the end.
We made Grapple Gear, which is a speedrunning game utilizing a grappling hook.
It is a movement-heavy game with a timer. You want to try and beat your time every time you go to a new level. There are 10 different levels.
The levels have different themes, such as sci-fi or medieval, and then it is all stylized using a cell shader, which gives it a comic book look.
We, at the start, were wanting to make a grappling hook-based Risk of Rain 2 style game with waves of monsters that you have to defeat and get through the levels with boss fights and stuff.
On the whiteboard we had the word grapple hook, because Gabe apparently had a dream one day where he was like, I want to make a game based on a grappling hook.
So we made Grapple Gear as part of our enterprise project at Neumont College through Neumont Game Studios.
It's a 10-week program where we're given a task to work with companies.
We use Unity as our engine, and it's all coded in C#, and then for the visual effects we use shader graphs to make it look visually pleasing.
Throughout the development, we would find ourselves just playing in the levels with the grappling hook just because it was so much fun to play with.
From the very beginning, we were very clear on who was doing what role. Everyone had their role very set from the beginning.
For me as team lead, collaboration of work, I really wanted to focus on my team members' strengths. I knew that Gabe was great at coding, so I put him in charge of all the coding aspects. Spencer really wanted to learn AI, so I let him do AI until we pivoted the game to level building. And then Jordan was helping out with the ability system, and then Carson was in charge of making the levels.
So originally in Grapple Gear there wasn't a stopwatch or timer feature. We only really felt necessary to add that whenever Spencer took it home to his roommates and they ended up racing each other for the fastest time they could get. And at that point we realized maybe we lean even harder into the speedrunning aspect.
We had been creating a game for 8 weeks thinking like this was going to be the outcome, and then the last 2 weeks we pivoted to a completely different outcome. And still being able to produce a product within that 10 weeks was impressive in itself.
For specifically me as a level creator, it went from having to go from 2 to 4 mildly large levels that were already somewhat created to 10 or 11 really small levels.
When we moved on to a speedrunning focus, I joined Carson in developing a lot of the levels and making more levels for people to play.
I did not think it would be possible to, in a matter of 2 weeks, completely swap genres. And it's worked out better than we intended.
My most proud moment of this project is actually getting it published on Steam. Like, we had the goal in mind of putting it on Steam, and we actually got to achieve that, and it's actually got a huge response and people love it. Really proud of that.
If I didn't come out to Neumont for college, I would not be where I am today with my knowledge of coding and game design and game development.
I did not know a single bit of code. I could barely do some of the basic things that I was finding on the internet, but Neumont really helped push me in the direction of learning more of these things.
Neumont teaches you how to learn in a completely different way. And when we're creating Grapple Gear, there was a lot of stuff that we had never seen before.
I really felt like designing and creating video games was a passion of mine early on when I was a kid. All I would do was play games, and then when I would play those games, I'd think about how they were made and how much fun it would be to make them.
The team that I worked with, every single one of them put in their all in terms of the project, and we really created something that I think I can be a little bit proud of.